This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 2614. Don't turn your back on the weather as a great connection topic.
Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 200 million times. Are you feeling stuck with your English? We'll show you how to become fearless and fluent by focusing on connection, not perfection. With your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Colorado and New York City, USA. And to get your transcripts delivered by email every week, go to allearsenglish.com/subscribe. What is the difference between cloudy and overcast, or humid and muggy? Today we go next level on the weather topic and explore why this topic still gets you deeper into connection in English. Hey, Michelle, how are you today? How's it going?
I'm good. How are you, Lindsay?
Good. Michelle, what's the weather like where you are today on the East Coast? Is it cold, cloudy, overcast, sunny? What's it like?
It's cold, and I would say it's overcast today.
Okay.
It's not beautiful outside.
Not beautiful.
Not the worst, but certainly not inspiring. What about you?
Well, it is sunny today. It's sunny a lot in Colorado. Yesterday, it sort of rained like a tiny droplet.
Yeah.
And then I asked my partner, like, did it rain yesterday? And I don't know. It doesn't really rain out here. And we get a lot of sunshine, a lot of blue sky. They call it the Colorado blue,
nice.
Where it's just this pure blue a lot of the days.
Oh, that's nice.
It means we have high rates of skin cancer out here.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, but I do like it. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah. Well, Lindsay, talking about the weather is actually, I mean, we've talked about the weather a lot on this show. Yeah. It's an important skill for connection. And it is always this joke that this is like boring small talk. Yeah. But sometimes we need to have that skill. And people do talk about the weather. I mean, they really, really do. Yeah. So it's a great way to ease your way into a conversation, especially in English. And the weather is relatable. I mean, here where I live, we had terrible storms, and it's been freezing. So I mean, what better? Everybody experiences it, so it's a great connection topic.
Everybody experiences it, and everybody hears about it, especially in different parts of the country and the world. I mean, we hear when there are like earthquakes. Well, I guess earthquakes isn't technically weather, but like we hear when there are big storms in certain places in Europe. Flooding maybe. And I know that there were big storms on the East Coast. That was just in the New York Times today, right? So I would bring that up to you if I hadn't seen you in a while. You know, how are those big storms, right?
Yep.
So it is, I know it seems mundane, it seems kind of basic, and we talk a lot about more interesting things on this show, but we still talk about it as human beings.
Definitely.
Right?
We would be doing a disservice if we didn't teach you guys about this, even though it seems mundane, right? So today we're going to talk about different ways to describe the weather, which we definitely have touched on this show before, but somebody asked us a great listener question that we're going to answer. When somebody asks you, how's the weather? You don't always have to say the same exact thing. You can be more precise. You can be more interesting. So guys, make sure that you hit the follow button wherever you're listening to All Ears English so you never miss anything from us.
Yeah, guys, hit that follow button right now and make sure that All Ears English drops into your listening queue 5 days a week. So we want to make you sound more interesting when you do talk about the weather. So we're going to pull from a listener question today. Michelle, shall I go ahead and read the question?
Please do.
All right. So the question comes from YouTube. And don't forget, guys, we have an entire YouTube channel. Go and hit subscribe over there. This is from Ardalan Bukart 24. Can you talk about the differences between cloudy weather and overcast? Now, this is a good question, Michelle, because it's quite nuanced.
Yeah,
right?
These terms are really similar. And with both, I mean, there are definitely clouds.
That's the one thing we can count on is clouds.
So let's start with cloudy weather. So When it's cloudy, there are mostly clouds, but there are some breaks. So you might see patches of sky here and there throughout the day.
Hmm.
And so you do it's not just all clouds, right?
Right, right. The cloud, but the breaks, the clouds do move, of course, right?
Yes.
And so you see them break up. Maybe for a moment you do have clear skies, and then it's cloudy again, right? Yeah, but then overcast is a little bit different, right? It's a
Mhm.
bit of a deeper coverage of clouds,
Right,
don't you think?
right. Yeah, yeah. So I would think of like a gray cover or a blanket.
Yeah.
So basically there's more gray and more clouds. I mean, yeah, today I'm looking outside right now and I said I think it's overcast because it's
Okay.
just it's just blah, right? It's not I don't
Blah. Yeah.
see any break in the blah. Like there's it looks like one big cloud. It doesn't,
Okay.
um so that's what I would say that that's pretty much the difference. But I don't think that in typical conversations, if I said, "Oh, it's so cloudy outside today" to my neighbor, I don't think she would say, "What are you talking about? It's overcast," right?
No
Like,
way, no way. This is really getting into the nuances so that our
yeah.
listeners can speak more precisely, but no one's going to correct you here, guys. We're just giving you a variety of options. Okay.
Exactly. So
But
let's show how this might sound.
what cities in the US usually have cloudy weather, Michelle?
Oh,
Would you say?
Portland or Seattle often have cloudy weather.
Yeah, I have to say, well, I would say in terms of overcast, I mean, we're going to talk about this in a minute, a global city, but I was in Michigan a couple of summers ago and I went out for breakfast with a friend and I came out of that breakfast. I have never seen such a heavy overcast sky. It was another kind of overcast, Michelle.
Wait, where was this you said?
This is Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
Michigan.
Oh,
It
really?
was so like, oh, blah. That's the
Yeah.
word. It really can kind of get you down sometimes. It
Yeah.
was just such a heavy, thick blanket of pure gray
Yeah.
everywhere. It was
Yep.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. And here's another little role play. Where is the weather often overcast?
London, lots of gray skies.
Yeah,
Although
London is
the
famous for that.
London's famous, but the times I've been in London, it's been beautiful. So I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
studied there. I
I
mean,
did. Yeah, there's a lot of rain, but there's also a lot of beautiful weather. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but now we're going to go into some words that could describe the opposite. And we're going to, because there are a lot of words that are nuanced like this with the weather.
Yeah.
So we want to go over some similar ones so you know the difference.
Yes.
So, this first one, so it's sunny and bright.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So sunny means the sun is out and you can see it, right? But
Hmm.
bright means there's a lot of light, even if you can't see the sun. It's like I need my sunglasses when it's
Yeah,
bright. There could be the sun,
right.
but it could just be like maybe you just came in from an afternoon movie. Do you ever go to a daytime movie? Oh, and then you walk out. It's like,
Oh.
oh, it's so bright. Oh my gosh, my
Oh, or what
eyes.
about when you get your eyes dilated?
Oh yeah, for
That's when you're
sure.
like you gotta wear the sunglasses.
Yeah, I mean, usually they go hand in hand. It's a bright sunny day.
Exactly.
It's a bright
Exactly.
sunny day. But they do mean slightly different things.
Very
Okay.
slightly, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How's the weather in Hawaii?
It's bright and sunny today.
Yeah, yeah, and that's similar to the West here, where Aubrey lives and where I live in Colorado. Like we get a lot of this bright and sunny, and often when you fly, you'll hear the captain will come on the radio as you're just
Oh
landing
yeah.
and let you know what the weather is
Yep.
in that place, and that's why I love flying into LA every
Oh yeah.
time. Bright sunny day, mid 70s,
Right.
no matter
Well,
what time of
actually,
year it is.
the Hawaii example is funny because I have my friends actually just went to Hawaii and everybody's asking them, "Oh my gosh, how was it?" All jealous. "Oh, you went to Hawaii." They say
Yeah.
it rained most of the
Oh
time.
no.
And yeah, and they said they feel weird, because people ask them how it was and they don't want to say, "Oh, it wasn't," they don't want to complain, but
No.
they said it just wasn't what you hoped for, be with
Oh,
the weather. Ugh.
That's so sad. I'm so sorry for them. I mean,
Yeah,
that happened to us in Norway, but I would expect that in Norway
right.
in September, not in Hawaii, you
Right.
know? Yeah.
Exactly. So, but what's interesting is sometimes it can be cloudy or overcast, but still bright, right?
hmm
So there are cloudy days where you need sunglasses.
100%, 100%. That can happen. So I love that today we really are getting into some interesting nuances of these
Yeah.
words, right? It's actually
Yeah.
not that simple. You can
No,
always go a level deeper with English, guys, right?
that's right.
Yeah. All right. So more weather words that are kind of similar to each other. So gloomy and gray. Gloomy
Yeah.
and gray. So what about these, Michelle?
Yeah, well, both of these describe dark and dull weather. So, gloomy is kind of that focus on the feeling, sad and moody, whereas
hmm
gray is focusing on the literal color of the sky, right? So, it could be gray and gloomy. So, again, sunny and bright, gray and gloomy, they often go hand in hand. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
if it's gray outside, you're probably getting a little bit of that gloomy feeling.
And by the way, sometimes we teach you guys on this show chunks that matter what word comes first. But in this case, I would say it doesn't matter. You could say, how's the weather? Oh, it's gloomy and gray outside. It's gray and gloomy.
Right.
There's no wrong way to
Doesn't
say
matter.
it, right? And you don't have
So,
to say them together, of course, but
no, you don't have to. You don't have
right.
to.
hmm
So how's the weather there?
It's really gray and kind of gloomy. It makes me want to stay inside.
Do you get affected by the weather like that? Do you feel like when it's those
Yeah,
just not so great
yeah.
days, do you just want to cuddle up?
I think we all do, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I know people that live in the Pacific Northwest, like Portland or Washington. I know someone who lives here that grew up in Washington State, and she said
Hmm.
she feels guilty when she doesn't like that it's sunny all the time in Colorado because she feels like she should be outside doing something. But she grew
I,
up in the
yeah,
Pacific Northwest, so she's used to more
yes.
rain. But 100% it affects your mood. Yes,
It's
yes,
true. Oh my gosh, I have days like that too. When it's a beautiful day, you just feel like
yeah.
even sometimes it not might not match up
Your
with your
mood.
feeling of what you want to do
Yeah,
that day. You might want to
yeah,
have an indoor day with
yeah.
oh, there's bad weather, so I have to be inside, but the weather is beautiful, and now what do you do?
Or over here in the West, the difference is so I grew up on the East Coast, and on the East Coast, if it's raining, it's a rainy day. It's not really going to clear up most of the time, right? But here, we never have a rainy day. We have like a rainy hour, especially in the summer where it'll
Uh,
rain. So the problem is your mood gets flipped and you get all confused. So, I'll wake up, it's sunny and beautiful. Oh, okay, I'm going to go to the park today and I'll play
oh,
frisbee.
that's
And then it rains. Like, okay, I'm going to go in and read a book and cozy up with a cup of
I'm
tea.
in, I'm
And
out,
then
I'm in,
all
I'm
of a
out.
sudden at 3 o'clock, it's sunny again and I have to go back outside. And it
That's
really kind of
yeah.
messes with your mentality a little bit.
That's
It's kind of
funny.
funny.
Are you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
constantly looking at the hour by hour, or do you just let it
I
happen?
just let it happen. But it's so different from the East Coast. Wouldn't you say that on the East Coast, if it's like you wake up, it's raining, it's going to be a rainy day. Like it's
Yeah,
usually
it's
not going to clear up most
for
of
the
the time.
most part. There might
Yeah.
be one shift, but
Yes.
I
Right.
mean, I think also in Florida they have like a lot of those sun showers, right?
Yeah,
Where
for
it's
sure.
it's sunny, but it's raining, and it happens for 8 minutes,
Yeah.
and then it's over, and
Yeah.
you're all ready to
It's
run inside, and then it's like, oh,
yeah.
okay, I guess we're good.
So it kind of this speaks to how humans are truly affected by the environment.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
we
my
really
gosh.
are. The
Oh,
temperature, the amount of light in the sky, the blue,
yeah.
we really are affected by it. So this is why we talk about it so much,
Yeah,
right? hmm
definitely. So then there's also muggy and humid.
Yes.
So both describe weather that's heavy and wet. So
Yeah.
humid is more of a technical term, but still very common, right? It's
hmm
that hot and wet and
Yes.
ugh.
Yeah,
Um,
this is in your wheelhouse from the East Coast. On the East Coast, this is an East
yes,
Coast thing,
where the
Michelle. But I miss it because it's good for your skin. It's good for your skin. You got a lot of moisture in the air. It's good.
yeah, it's
Hydrates
not.
your skin.
Yeah, but then my hair, it's just maybe
Yeah.
good for the skin, bad for the hair, or maybe it's good for the hair, but it doesn't look good. That's But what about muggy?
Yeah, muggy is a little bit more. My mom used to use this word a lot. It means humid, but it's just like a little more. I guess you could hear a weatherman or weatherwoman say this, but it's a little
Yeah,
less technical, right? It's more casual and it kind
right.
of describes how it feels on your body. You might say,
Yeah.
God, it's so muggy out here. I have to go inside, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
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 hmm
So, yeah,
Yeah.
Lindsay, why does it feel so uncomfortable outside?
Because it's so hot and humid. It just feels super muggy today.
Yeah.
Yeah, very common. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. And we're going to do one more that's close.
Yeah.
So cool and chilly. We may have talked about
Yes.
this once before, but these are really good. So both
Yeah.
of these describe temperatures that are a little cold, but not freezing.
Yeah, this is good. So cool again is slightly cold but comfortable, right? And chilly is colder and just a little bit uncomfortable. You probably need a jacket, but it's not intolerable. It's not
Yeah.
freezing. You're not going to need to go inside. You're going to just need to bundle up a tiny bit more, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So do I need a jacket today?
Probably. It's cool in the sun, but quite chilly once the sun goes down. Oh, yeah. That's always.
Yeah, but on
Yeah.
the
But
East Coast, I don't know. On the
yeah.
East Coast, you guys don't like that's what I kind of miss about the East Coast lifestyle is that you do have humidity in the air. So at night it stays warm. Whereas
Mm.
here it gets cold at night. Like you can't go out in July in shorts at night in
Oh,
Denver.
really?
Generally not. Sometimes like the deepest middle of the summer, maybe. But most
Yeah.
nights you need something. You can't go out in a tank top. You need an extra top
Yeah.
because the sun
Well,
goes, yeah. Hmm.
yeah, I would agree. I mean, like there are definitely there's actually my mother-in-law always says that her favorite time of year is when it's hot enough where at night you don't need to wear
I
any,
love that too.
And
Yeah. I love that.
yeah, and it is nice, but it also means during the day
It is pretty bad.
it's so
Yeah.
hot. If it's going to
Yeah.
be that hot at night,
Yeah.
what's
You're right.
happening in the day? So I don't I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a trade-off, I
It's a
guess.
trade-off. See, look at how much conversation we're getting just out of the weather, the nuances
Yeah.
in the weather, and also comparing regions. You know, if you've lived in different
Yeah.
regions of your country or the world, you've got a lot to talk about here, guys. All right. So here, Michelle, in our role play, we are two friends on opposite sides of the world, and
Oh,
we're having a call to chat and start. Of course, we start off by talking about the weather.
of course.
Even if we're two good friends, we might do that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, hey, how's the weather there today? I heard it's been crazy.
Yeah, it's summer, but it's been super gray and gloomy.
Oh, that's terrible. It's usually sunny this time of year, but is it chilly?
No, thankfully, just a bit cool at night. How's the weather there?
Super hot and muggy. I'm not sure what's worse.
Honestly, I'd take cloudy weather over humidity any day.
Yeah, so we got a lot of our chunks in here in our conversation. You asked me how the weather was, and I said it's summer, but it's been super gray and gloomy. And again, you could say gloomy and gray, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you said that's terrible. It's usually sunny this time of year. But is it chilly?
Right. And then you said just a bit cool at night. How's the weather there? You said, and I said super hot and muggy. And again, that means humid. That might be a new word for our listeners because I feel like that word's
Muggy. Yeah.
not common. I don't know. It's just not out there in the world. I never hear
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then I said, honestly, I'd take cloudy weather over humidity any day.
Yeah. Some people really hate the humidity.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you like, what you're used to. Michelle, what's another awesome episode our listeners could keep going to listen to?
All right, guys, head on over to 2564. That was human or person. What's the difference? So that's also similar words. So we're doing a lot of that
Yes.
over here on All Ears English because this is really important. These nuances and learning more than one way to say something.
And I think the connection skill here, it's been very clear throughout the episode. The weather, the topic of the weather is not dead, guys. It is alive and well, right? Even though we love to go into things that we say are more interesting, you're always going to end up in these conversations about the weather, even with people you know well or don't know well.
Yeah.
But today we've given you some nuances, some interesting chunks that you probably haven't heard before. Right.
Yeah. And this is it's so true. I mean, it brought us to a lot of other things. I mean, I ended up sharing something my mother-in-law says, and I ended,
Yeah.
we were talking about my friends in Hawaii and how it rained the whole time. It does bring we all have experienced the weather. So it
Yes.
is a good connection topic.
It's a connection topic and it's a jumping off point. I mentioned Norway. I
Yes,
mentioned my move from the East Coast to the West.
Yeah.
There is so much more that we could do to learn about each other if we didn't know each other well. based on all the things that came out of this conversation. Right, Michelle?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's true. It was fun. Like I found that we were having a lot of natural conversation, good conversation. So definitely, don't poo-poo the weather as a small talk topic.
Exactly. Don't turn your back on the weather. And maybe if anyone has a more specific question based on today's episode, do let us know at support@allearsenglish.com or write it in your review of the show. All right. All right. Excellent, Michelle. We'll see you very soon. You have a good day. All right.
All right. Bye, Lindsay.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to All Ears English. Would you like to know your English level? Take our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/fluency score. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.